Welcome to the Our Second Home podcast and a very happy International Dance Day to you all. This is officially episode 1 and man, I am so excited to kick it off with these 4 amazing guests. I also have the honor of calling them my colleagues. So today I have Eleanor Pirima from Estonia, Anthea Vanderham from Italy, Sam Parham from the UK, and Hidetora Tabe from Japan. But we're all here in Estonia because of one thing, and that is ballet. So join us as we discuss how ballet has taken us around the globe and how that reality has shaped both our lives and our careers. So as this is coming out on International Dance Day, I kind of wanted to focus on the topic of being international dancers and how ballet has taken us all over the world and the things that we've learned from that. So who wants to start us off with this? Maybe he
seems the most prepared.
You have been chosen to be the first volunteer. Come on, you got your PDF file and everything.
Right. Just start.
So your name, where you're from, what made you start ballet?
Right.
Just go for it.
I'm Hidetora from Japan. Actually, the reason why I started ballet is not because of I wanted to dance or I love dancing. It was because of I had to fix my posture.
Really?
Because my school teacher told me to.
Interesting.
Actually, I tried all the stuff. I put long rulers to my back and tried to fix my posture. It didn't work. Mm-hmm. And then my mom was kind of for that last resort option. She was like, oh, maybe ballet, because she used to watch ballet a lot. Uh-huh. So had an image of ballet dancer has a good posture.
Everyone tells me that. Ballet dancers have such good posture, and I'm I'm slouching as they're telling me. I'm like, yes, we do.
Yeah.
So did it fix your posture in the end?
Yeah, a bit. Yeah.
And then when you started, you just fell in love with it, Or...
Actually, I was so embarrassed because when I walk in the studio, usually it's a ballerina is more famous than ballet dancers and boy.
Yeah.
So of course, when I went to studio, there was all girls in a leotard, and I was wait a second, I just felt so I wasn't ready for it, and then I had to wear dance belt and a tights, which is also super uncomfortable, but I never had those experiments in my life. After a year or half a year, I got used to it. And from there, I had fun. I started to enjoy learning, but until there, it was just a bit awkward and uncomfortable.
So when did ballet start to take you away from Japan?
I think it was 2016. I got a scholarship in YGP to go to my school, Hart Conservatory in Florida. Florida.
Where you were too? Or?
Yeah, no,
okay.
yeah.
Do you guys know each other before? Or?
No, I mean, I think...
I knew his sister because we met in Prague. Yeah. But I never...
But no, I was in Sarasota.
Okay,
in Florida,
that's it.
and he was in
Boca Raton,
which is the other side.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was on the left and he was on the right.
Okay.
And I think I think you were in your final year at school, and I was in my first year working.
Yes.
So we were in Florida at the same
That's
time.
So funny.
One time.
Yeah, it's kind of cute.
And we both came to Estonia. It was kind of destiny.
Nice.
You're right.
Little bromance going on. So, sorry, continue.
Okay, what was I talking about?
You went to Florida. And this was a school or a
school.
A school, okay.
Yeah, it was actually terrible.
Yeah.
My first day. Because I went there with not knowing any English word. I mean, I actually knew some sentence, but it was I don't speak English.
Yeah.
At least I had to tell them. Then actually I wasn't nervous at all to go and take ballet school and ballet class in the school.
That's good.
Because I've done it and I felt I was ready for it.
Yeah.
But high school work,
Oh man.
I had to learn completely new stuff. in like the language I don't know.
Yeah.
So that was.
And I'm guessing a completely different system too.
Yes.
How you do it.
And the Google Translate did not work so well.
Really?
Yeah, I tried and like. So what I tried was like first I changed my language to English because like I already know like what to do with my phone.
Yeah.
So maybe it's easier step to take. And I watched a lot of English TV or like newspaper.
The States is a huge culture shock compared to Japan, I can imagine.
Yes.
No? Yeah.
The biggest one was the people don't take the shoes off.
That is so weird.
But also in Italy,
It's the same.
Because like
Cyprus too.
in Japan, we even have like gap between like entrance and also hallway to like make people like like let them know like where to take the shoes off.
Yeah.
Yes, but
That was a big shock.
yeah.
Yeah.
My roommate that came into the room with like like on shoes and like it was dirty and I was like, wait, what are you doing?
Get
Like,
out.
And then they sit on the bed with their shoes on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Yeah.
Also,
That is
sometimes with
crazy.
carpets too. I'm a bit like, carpets are a bit.
No, actually, the States carpets everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember arriving at the airport and the whole airport, and I was like wheeling my suitcase along, and I was like, "This is smooth." Yeah, no, the airport was like all carpet.
So interesting. Okay, so as we're on the American culture shock, what were your two like things? Because you also went to.
I
the
did,
States.
yes. I was 16 or turning 16 at the time. And I was so shy before I moved to America. And I remember just being so afraid of like meeting new people or like even just in my class, I had like 3 friends that I talked to and the rest I was just, yeah. But I think America really, they are so open there.
Yeah.
So I started to open up more too. And it was amazing. I think, well, the first few days I was so confused when at the grocery store they would ask you how I am. How are you doing? You actually want to know? Like in Estonia, if you ask how is it going, you actually
reply
with an answer. Yeah, but there it's just how are you? How are you doing?
Yeah. It's funny, different culture.
For sure.
How about for you?
For me, I mean, same language.
Yeah.
So it wasn't much of a big change. Like you said, they're a lot more expressive, the people. Like they do want to know like how you're doing and stuff. I mean, a big thing for me, especially in Florida, was the public transport was awful. Really bad, yeah. And that like really upset me because I felt like I couldn't travel around as much as I wanted to. But no, it wasn't much of a big cultural shock for me coming from the UK. It wasn't.
Did you get a lot of people like, oh, are you from England?
Yeah, are you from England?
Yeah.
Are you from
Your
London?
accent.
I'm like, no, we're not all from London. Our other places, yeah.
At least they knew where your country was.
Yeah, true.
They did.
Yeah.
Anytime
Like
I meet a new
Estonia?
person.
Is that a state?
Really?
Is that in Georgia?
Oh boy. So what was your reason for going to America? What was your path? Tell us a
my
little
path.
bit about yourself.
We'll go back to the beginning.
Yes,
Go back to
this
the
is
beginning.
Sam, by the way. If you can't
Yes,
tell.
hello, I'm Sam. I am British. And I think the main reason I started ballet was because of my sister. So we had like a local dance school in like some church hall. The floor was like slippy, covered in crumbs. It was awful. And we would go, my mum would like take us to go and pick up Olivia, my sister, after her class. And they would always be like, come on in, Sam, come on in, like you're a boy, come on in.
We need you.
And I guess because of the stereotypes, like I didn't want anything to do with dance or ballet or wear tights or anything. And then my mum took me to watch a ballet, and I saw the guys, and they were pretty cool, very masculine, and then I was drawn in, and like you said, Hide, like it was like at the beginning it's quite tough, like joining like just a group of girls,
For
and
boys especially.
you're very shy,
I think.
as a kid, and it's like very overwhelming. But for me, I had my brother. We both did ballet together,
Oh, that's really
Oh,
which
that's
was
good.
like made things so much easier. Like we could talk about
Is your older
it.
brother? Or?
Yeah, my older brother.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It just made the whole thing so much easier. And then I'd auditioned for a ballet school, Elmhurst, and I trained there for 3 years. And then I got my first job in Sarasota, Sarasota Ballet, and that's when I moved to America at the age of 20, which was pretty scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then pandemic, and then Estonia.
I remember the first day you came, I was like, because we had already started the season, and I was like, who is he? Is he auditioning? Why is he in rehearsal?
Yeah.
Like, I was
It's
so
been a few
confused.
months.
Yeah, I had lots of
everybody
people
was
coming up to me like, Are you in the right place?
Yeah.
But it was actually like the pandemic, I think, for like a lot of dancers, like I think a lot of us like questioned like whether dance was like right for us,
Yeah.
and, like whether it was worth going through with this career,
Yeah.
because we weren't dancing, we weren't doing what we loved, so it took us away from all of that. And I was kind of going through the similar experience, and then towards the end of August, like the pandemic was like calming down, and all of a sudden like travel restrictions were opening up and you could fly, and I was like, I've got to give this like one more go. So I emailed a bunch of places. I emailed here, and I think this place had like a couple injuries, and yeah, they invited me out here. I flew as quickly as I could because I knew it would all be closing up again. The second wave was imminent. Yeah, it was just, it all happened so quickly. And then I was like out here like 2 weeks later after the audition.
Crazy.
Yeah. Wow. And then we went into another lockdown, so it was just like, and it happened so like perfectly.
So Andrea, I'm gonna pick on you a little bit. You, I think, were the youngest to move away out of all of us. So you're from Italy, and
Yeah, so I can also give like a little background. So I started when I was 6 years old, so like pretty young, and I hear like many stories of like, oh, I was dancing in the middle of the room, like watching a ballet, and it's like, yeah, with me it was pretty basic. Like my sister was going to ballet, so my mom used to dance, so I think the passion was already in her, and she just like easily brought like the two of us. I think at that age, parents kind of choose for you. When I was 10 years old, I started auditioning for academies, and I remember trying alla Scala di Milano, and it was like, I passed until the end, and then the last like audition, like exam, I didn't like get through, and that was like horrible. Like I was so touched and so sad about it. But I remember, I mean, I don't actually remember, but my parents told me that the next day that we went home, I was still doing my exercise in my room that I used to always do. So I think there was like some discipline in me and some determination. So I just kept going with that in me. And I tried to audition for academies for 3 years. So ballet never came easy for me. And when I was 16, I finally went in Munich. And no, sorry, 13. I was 13. And my mom moved with me for 2 years. And then when I was 16, I was by myself. But again, I always think that there was something in me that believed that I was meant to be a ballerina. Like I'm like, no, but I have something that I want to give or I enjoy. But it was hard. And I have to say, like, moving into another country wasn't too bad for me. And I think because my mom moved with me for the beginning, and so it wasn't like too much of a shock. And I think I loved living abroad. And about the language, I remember I went to Germany my first year, and I learned German because the teacher was speaking in German, the girls, like my like friends there, and I even did like a school because I was having ballet classes in the afternoon, so I had time in the morning. So I think I knew German like pretty well. And then the next year I moved, it's called like bachelor, and there we have more foreigners, so they were speaking in English. And I had German in my head, and it was so hard to like switch. And every time I wanted to talk, I had German in my head, and I was like, it was so hard, like so tricky. And anyway, my English wasn't good at all. Like from school, like they don't teach you very well in Italy, so I started from zero. But slowly, like I started to like learn the language, and I ended up talking for like the whole day in English, and then just maybe like 10-15 minutes like in Italian with my mom. So it started to become the language that I got more comfortable with. And then after that, when I was 18, so it's true that I was like pretty young to move to a company, I came here to Estonia, and the first year was a huge shock for like many things. I think when you move to a company, you just have so many things that are different compared to the academy or to the school that it's just like a lot. But you get through, like you do it, and yeah, now it's my fourth season, and I'm so comfortable here. I'm so happy to live in this like beautiful city, and I really like to be here. So sometimes it's about time to actually get comfortable.
Yeah.
So don't be scared from the first impression that you have of a city or someone. Like you need to like give more time.
Yeah. That was going to be my next question. Like, what was your guys' experience being a newbie? Maybe Eleanor can start.
At normal school, like high school, it was much harder to feel accepted.
So explain your study situation.
So,
it wasn't
yeah.
combined, or
No, it was. I went to this private academy called Colton Valley Boston, and I did high school also. So I had my normal school in the morning, and then from 4 until 8 or 9, I did ballet.
Yeah.
And I felt way more at home at the ballet school. Maybe that makes sense because I felt at home dancing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think at school I was shy about my accent and like talking, but that improved during the year. But the first few months were difficult for sure.
Yeah.
But I had my family there to support me.
But for me, like moving away from home wasn't hard at all. I kind of love the independence. I like the challenge. I like taking on responsibility for my own life.
Yeah.
Like even I moved away from home when I was 16, 3 years of school, and then I moved to America on my own, and then I came here on my own.
Yeah. It's crazy to me. Like, I mean, I moved also when I was 18, and I moved to four countries. I know people my age who have like never left their country at all, and for them they're like, how do you do it?
Yeah.
And for us it's like, I remember actually my first season here, one of the Estonian like older ladies was asking Anna Maria and I like, how are you like okay being by yourself here all alone? Like I've never left. And I was just like, wow, it's such a different perspective. Like I don't know, you just get used to it, you just do it, and you pursue your career and you learn how to adjust.
Yeah, I think you become like very adaptable as a person. Like I don't think that's a skill you're born with. I think that's a skill you develop through just like throwing yourself in the deep end and just doing it, you know.
Absolutely.
I definitely believe in the thing of like you just do it. Like of course you have the fear and you have the questions and you don't know if like that's the right thing to do, like all of that, but you just ended up doing it. And I think you know that's how we do it. We just do it.
I definitely learned that from living abroad.
But that's why I also think that dancers are more mature than I don't want to say normal people, but
Normal people.
I've seen that before.
Like moving abroad at such a young age like makes you grow up a lot faster. You know, like you're shopping in a supermarket in a completely different language. You know, I remember the first time I shopped in Estonia, I was in there for like 3 hours, like trying to work out what the hell is going on. Google Translate.
Here they put these little white stickers right on top of the English. Like, and I'm always trying to peel.
I swear I'm not stealing. I just want to see what the product is.
I always have this fear some security guard is going to be like, don't mess with the sticker.
But just one thing, like I find it interesting with me that so when I'm like abroad, I feel comfortable just like living my own life, being independent and everything. But when I'm back home, I'm so used to still be the young daughter that if my mom asks me like, oh, can you do grocery for me? I'm like, which one? And can you do it for me? Or like even just like asking for questions like, mom, can you do it for me?
You just fall back into the same routine.
Yeah, so when I'm home, I still feel like, mom, like, can you be the mom? But when I'm here, I'm like, oh yeah, guys, I can
take the lead. Yeah.
So I change a lot.
That's really interesting. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things. You know, I grew up in Cyprus, and like even today we're talking about I don't have a driver's license, and there also the transport is like 0. So I have to depend on either my friends or my parents to take me places and to do stuff. But
the same for me back home.
Yeah, harder to be independent. Whereas when you live in like I mean, Tallinn's not a big city, but it's a capital and it has good transport, and London has great transport, and Sweden, and like all of these main cities have.
And in Tallinn they are for free. Just saying.
This podcast is not sponsored.
Definitely gonna throw that in there.
Sorry, no, just back to the part about growing up fast.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's crazy that like at the age of 20, like you're like renting apartments and like you're like trying to learn like another language, and especially coming here, like I think you're like juggling so many things like in your head during the first couple of weeks, especially joining a ballet company, because you're thinking about choreography, you're trying to make friends, you're trying to find an apartment, you're trying to understand the language. There's so many things going on, and like that can be like, well, for me it was like extremely overwhelming.
Yeah, the first year I think is insane, and here too, especially with the, like you said, just the work part. You jump in and you came late, so performances were already on. You had to like step in.
Yeah, no, I was in the show the first week.
Yeah, we were talking about that today.
No, I had to learn like 4 ballets like immediately.
Yeah.
And I was like staying in an Airbnb at the time. So I was also looking for an apartment. So I was seeing apartments, then like learning choreography, and it was just...
It's tell us your first year experiences. I'm curious.
For me, actually, the first day was the worst day because
At least it got better.
they sent me a list of the choreography and like repertories that I have to learn before, like while summer, then just be ready for the season. And there was Giselle and Swan Lake and Romeo and Juliet, and I did that. And I was like, okay, I'm ready, you know. I learned this, and then I'm just ready, you know. I'm ready to like show off and like just do it. But when I went there, this unknown rehearsal started called AK. What is that? Then I asked the people, and they were like, oh, it's Anna Karenina. And I was like, what is that? But I was like, oh, nobody mentioned that to me, so I'll be fine, you know. I don't have to know the choreography. And then, they picked me for the front line for the court ballet. And then like, you know,
I feel like every professional dancer has that like moment of fear.
Yes.
You know, like you don't know the choreography and like there's some like force above that just waiting to just like you just know you're gonna go in and you don't know the choreography and you just gotta wing it.
Sorry. You can move.
No, and it's also different when they don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
When you're new at a place, you need to prove yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then it's really hard. And sometimes they ask you, I remember my first day, we did Swan Lake. We had so many different ballets, but we had Swan Lake Waltz. And I watched once, and one of the ballet masters asked me after the first run, do you want to go in now? And I was so scared. And I think I said no that first time. But looking back, I should have just gone and done it, but I was too afraid to make a mistake because in school, I think you have this mentality of any small mistake is just so wrong. Yeah. But here, it's okay.
My first day, we also had Swan Lake Waltz. I didn't even know what the red plan was. I didn't know what the white plan was. I didn't know that there was a plan. I just found out.
Too.
I just, it was after class. I thought we didn't have anything. And someone's like, oh no, we have waltz rehearsal. I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, they're not going to put me in, you know. The only new person they put in was me. And Alita somehow didn't register that I was new. One of our ballet masters. Well, yeah, sorry. But she put me with a partner, and then she was like, music. And then I was like, what? I didn't know about the computer that had all of our rep on it. I was just like, what? And then she came over, she's like, you knew, yes? So I'm like, yes, I'm new. Okay, and she walked me through the first half, and she's like, now music. After that, someone introduced me to the computer with the repertoire, and I started learning it. You figured it out.
You're supposed to watch a video before coming to rehearsal. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Before Nutcracker.
Yeah, I didn't know this.
They put me in for flowers.
I didn't know video exists. I feel like sometimes like, you know, like newbie has like privileges to like not knowing the choreography 100%.
Yeah.
But sometimes like
now
we
they
don't.
do. Now they're
much now we do.
To new
but
people,
I feel like when I joined here as a newbie, when I didn't know the choreography 100%, I definitely felt like some dancers are judging me because I don't know well, and also like they have to spend extra time on me, and I felt so bad. So it was a bit tough. But I think everyone is the same. The first season.
We're also like all perfectionists, you know. We set our standards of ourselves like really high, and we want to go in and we want to do the best.
Exactly, especially your first season. You want them to like you, like you want to make a good impression, and
The reason why it's also a big, like not shock, but different to like come to a company is also because they're looking for different qualities, and one of the quality is fast learner, or you know, maybe even if you don't know the choreography, fake it, like just act like you're confident. And I feel like we don't necessarily like learn this at school. And so that's why like the change can also like throw you off a bit, because if in a school like you have maybe like 1-2 shows and you prepare like 3 months, and now here like 2 weeks and it's like on stage. And I think that's a lot of like pressure and
Or even like less than 1 day.
So I think that's why the company can be a hard change from the school or academy.
How about in terms of like making friends and stuff? Is that pretty smooth for you guys, or
For me, it was smooth.
like,
I take time to open up to people. Like I mean, a lot of people have like told me that I look very confident, but on the inside, especially when I meet new people, I'm very anxious. Especially like foreigners and different people, like that I'm not used to talking to, like that makes me even more anxious, which is like all part of being a dancer,
Yeah.
But I think like they still considered you, like maybe invited you at like some parties or hangouts.
I feel like
they still try,
Yeah. No, I feel like all like ballet communities, like everyone is like very close, everyone is very friendly, everyone is very welcoming, and there's no need to be scared or anxious. I don't think.
I disagree with that.
Okay. I mean, that's what I was telling myself. There's no need to be scared. Everyone is nice. Everyone's friendly.
Like I don't think when you come to a new company, they are necessarily like always open and just be like, hey, like for sure some people are and some companies are, but I don't think like that's how company. But tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like with boys it's easier to get along with other boys, like are more chill.
No,
it's a big statement.
I find with girls they're like maybe more competition. I don't know.
No, boys can be super dramatic than girls.
I don't think it's a gender thing. I think it's a very individual thing, like personality wise, and whether you just get on with a person in general. I mean, maybe you feel differently towards like girls than guys, like
I would actually lean to agree with Anthea a bit more, just because I was talking about this with someone who's not a dancer, but I was saying how sometimes, not necessarily anymore, but sometimes I felt like it's easier to communicate with guys because there's immediately not this competition thing. Like it's just a part of the wall that's just not there, Whereas with girls, there is always a little something there that that this is a job, that you both want the same thing, and so there's you struggle to trust them maybe faster in a way.
I mean, that's something I actually haven't experienced with guys. I guess I would agree with you then, because I don't feel that towards guys. I feel like we're supporting each other.
It's definitely less in the work, because I feel like, especially in this company, I feel like the boys sometimes help each other, especially to like maybe learn the choreography, because somehow we do have a lot of injuries. I mean, I'm injured now. Boys have to go in for like different sport as well. I mean, same as girls, but like I feel especially this company, like because of that, like we have a like topic to talk, like we have to talk and like ask a question about it. So I feel like it's easier to like get closer.
There's also less of you. I feel like there's maybe a smaller community of boys because there's more women. We're not all like besties.
This company, we do in general get along very well.
I'm usually very positive, and people tell me that I like socialize with people very easily. So this is like
the backdrop.
But my first season was very, very hard, and I think it came mostly from myself, like within, and I felt alone. I came to Estonia during the winter time. I mean, it was September and it was getting towards like winter time, and that means cold and darkness. And I was in a studio apartment, and I think like that, plus I was the youngest one. I came, and I also I came late, and people were like already having shows, so I came quite lost, and I didn't know the choreography, so I don't think I was seen as like, oh, she's smart and she's a fast learner, like all of that. So I felt like a bit judged from people, and as I said, like it was a big shock from like academy to company. So all of that put in together, it was just like super hard, and and that's okay and that's normal. But I didn't feel I was I didn't feel I got friends very fast and very easily. I actually felt like pretty weird around people and groups. But with the time, things changed, and now it's better, and I have most of my best friends and best people like here, so it's all good. But I'm just saying, like, it was a hard beginning.
I think it just goes to say, like, what you were saying before, like, you have to give it time, you know. If you don't feel the fit immediately, that's okay, you know, and you can just let it develop over time. And it really depends also on, like, who's there, you know. Maybe you click with the people who came the second season, not the first season, and there's so many different dynamics. And I think regardless if you're jumping in halfway when people are already dancing, people have already made their friend groups, people have already started their lives and they're preoccupied. It just makes everything a bit more challenging.
So this is my first company, and who knows, maybe eventually I will change company and go to another one. And I'm always wondering, like, how will I be in a new company? And I think I would be a bit different. Like, I would be more, like, relaxed and more myself and less scared. So I think that also comes just, like, from... And I'm always getting back to this point, the change from academy to company. Like, that was... like a lot for me. So I think it also comes with the time and maturity and personality. So it doesn't always have to happen that way where you're like scared in a new company. Like I think eventually you start to also understand like how the vibe is and how like you should act, like maybe you should put like, you know, just stuff that you also learn in the way.
To come back to the adaptability part, because I feel like that's like quite an important word for that, like connects us all as dancers, because moving countries and learning all these new things, you have to be adaptable. And then that also applies to your work as well. You know, going in for different spots, like learning new roles very quickly, you know.
Absolutely.
So I feel like it's all connected.
Would you say that's the biggest pro to like living abroad and moving, and that it also shapes you as a dancer?
It's this like just go and do it attitude that you develop like from a very like young age, and you become very disciplined in it. And then when you do your work, you have the same mentality. You know, you go home, you learn the choreography, you do the show the next day, you know. Yeah. I feel like it's... You
can really perform under pressure in any kind of situation, which is really cool. Do you guys have like other things you think that traveling and living abroad has taught you and how it relates to your dancing?
Well, definitely I have enjoyed living abroad to the point where I don't even feel Italy is my home anymore. It's just, it's a place where I see my parents, but that's it. I don't have many friends there because I moved when I was like pretty young. So it's nice to meet different people. Hear and talk about different ideas, perspective. I find that like you learn a lot. Like it really makes you open-minded. So I like that.
For me, I liked moving abroad and living abroad, but I actually not as much in Estonia. But everywhere I go to travel or like to like audition, I always get like some like racism problem. Like there's always like Asian hate in there. So that was a bit like terrible part of like living abroad. But I'm glad I got the experiments. Like it was not nice experiments, but like I got it. It definitely like I learned there's, you know, that kind of people exist. I also have to like try to understand their culture when there's like new cultures to learn. Like I definitely learned that from like living abroad.
Yeah, that's really good. I mean, just the company itself, it's so international.
Yes.
Like, it was so easy to pick 4 or 5 people from different countries, you know? I was trying to think, can I get everyone, like one person from every continent? I could have done it except for South America. That was the only thing. But anyways. Do you have anything? What was it like coming back home?
Yeah.
Like, that's something we have not done. Like, we're still living away from home, you know?
Because I lived in Germany after... I don't think I mentioned this.
No.
After going to the US with my whole family, I moved to Germany at 17 to attend
by yourself this time.
an academy.
Or-
Yes,
yeah.
by myself. And the first day was, or the first night, it was just, I felt so empty and like just helpless and but that goes over quickly and you adapt. And I had friends there quite fast because there were other people that came at the same time.
That's good.
So it was easy to connect with them. But coming back, I think living abroad really makes you appreciate home more. So when I came back, it was very nice to be close to my family again. I mean, they don't live in the same city as me, but I'm so close to them, and it almost makes me wonder if I ever want to move again.
Yeah.
Which I might, but it's a privilege to have them really close.
Yeah.
But at the same time, be independent.
Yeah. And to live in a country that really supports the arts, I think.
Yes.
Because, like, I loved growing up in Cyprus. It was amazing. But I always knew I could never make a life there because there's not even, like, there's not a national theater. There's not a company. There's nothing. In my head, I always knew I had to leave. And I can never go back until I retire or do something completely different.
No, I completely relate to that.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. So I think that's so cool that you actually have a home to come back to where there's art, where there's a national theater, where there's a really big high standard, and where people appreciate it. Like that's such a blessing to have.
Yeah, it's
I'm
nice
glad
to
it's a
dance
happy
for
return.
an Estonian audience as well.
Yeah,
It's very special.
Yeah.
Even though Stuttgart has a huge stage, there's something so special about this small one that we have that we sometimes don't fit everything on.
Yeah. My dad also was saying when he came to watch a show that he likes how close we are actually, like how close the stage is to the audience. So when you can actually see the movements and they're not these little white specks kind of dancing, it's really nice. So there is pros and cons everywhere. And I think actually this Christmas going back, I realized that when I'm going to Cyprus, I say I'm going home. And then when I'm in Cyprus, I say I'm going home. And I was like, oh, I have two homes. Yeah. So
Our second home.
Our second home. I think the last question of just advice for, which we haven't had a lot already, but advice for dancers who are about to move and maybe who are moving now or, next season maybe they're looking at moving. What would you say? Obviously, to relax, smile, just go for it. Give it time. Those are all things we've said, but maybe like practical stuff, organizing flights and just, I don't know. Anything that you guys are
I have something a bit deeper.
Go for it.
So, even just like me now, I'm thinking like, oh, what if I move eventually like out of Tallinn? And it scares me a bit. It's like, okay, it's a new country. Again, you need to like make friends from the beginning and everything is new and will I like it there? Like a lot of questions that comes up. But then I heard it somewhere, this question, what if in 5 years you're living the same life as now? Would you like that? And I was like, no, I don't want to live the same life for like years and years and years. Like I want to make a change. And so to get there, you have to make a change and move and do something different. So it's normal to be afraid. It's normal to be scared, but that shouldn't stop you from trying and go for it. Because like if you think like as a bigger picture, like would you want to live the same life for like 10 years? Like no, you want to like travel, like do new things and try new stuff. So just I think it's advice to push you to actually make the move, take that step.
I have some practical advice.
Go for it.
So I mean, for me, before I moved to Estonia, I was like very worried about like just like going online and renting like an apartment like online. So what I did was I rented an Airbnb, like so I could go out, live in the Airbnb, and then look for an apartment while I was there, so I could make sure that the apartment was okay. So I think that was like it turned out to be a pretty good like way to do it.
Unlike the way I did it, my way turned out well in the end, but I wouldn't advise it. The day before I was supposed to take the ferry over here, I didn't have anywhere to stay and also had no money. So the moral of the story is do it Sam's way, not Abby's way. I texted some friends and like, hey, I know you only met me once, but like, do you know where I could stay for like a week or so? And thankfully they were kind enough to be like, of course, come live with us. And I was like, whew. But literally, I remember I was having dinner with some friends that night and I'm like, I'm leaving tomorrow and I have nowhere to stay. I should figure that out. And it was stressful and it was, I think, unnecessary. So definitely plan ahead.
Yeah,
Like
I think
said.
getting yourself organized.
Yeah.
Like knowing your surroundings when you arrive there, where like the local supermarket is.
Yeah.
Like I did all those things, Google Maps, everything, you know.
Google Earth.
Moving down turning right, moving down the street again.
Learn the route to work.
You're so confused because that red cart isn't there.
It was there on Google Earth. It's not here in real life.
It's not a landmark.
But also, to be fair, ballet world is very small.
Yeah.
And you can just ask friends,
Yeah.
like, hey, how is it to be there? Like, I remember some people that came here to Estonia, like, asked me first, like, hey, which website should I use to, like, look for apartments? Like, what about the public transport? So, you can always ask friends for information that they, like, live already there. Because I think ballet world is small, so you
feel like
have some connection.
You can even, I feel like dancers are so open, again, because of this kind of, lifestyle that we live, that you could even write a dancer that you don't know.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, I see you're working at this. What do you think about, what are the good places?
Yeah.
And most people will write back and be like, sure, let me help you.
I've had quite a few people ask me.
Yeah.
And I think it's normal to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. How about you guys?
Any
For
advice?
me, like, I mean, I just agree with Sam.
Yeah.
Because I've had experiments. Like, I just, like, borrow a random apartment from the Facebook. And I also didn't know the, like, the right price for the apartment is. Like, what's expensive in Estonia and then what's cheap.
Yeah.
And I just rent, like, a 450 apartment. And it was quite small. So it ended up, like, I was, like, just, like, not prepared at all. And also, I had, like, the heaters in my apartment was not working. And then this is, like, freezing country. Some have been there. Like, I was wearing, like, winter coat and a hoodie to, like, go to sleep in a bed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
definitely follow the
He would
signs.
come round and like sleep at mine some nights because it was just too cold.
That's the thing I love so much about Estonia, is that the apartments are so warm. And I remember when you told me this, I was like, what?
Well, yeah, my first apartment there was only a fireplace to heat the
Really?
apartment. So I would not recommend this. I just took the first one I saw because I was
Yeah,
flying back the
same.
next day to Stuttgart. So I was just like, I'll take it. It's whatever. It's kind of close. It wasn't even close. But, and I'm glad I moved away
Must
from
have been
there.
an experience.
It was.
Guys,
But actually-
apartment is important. Really important.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Let's make a point here. Where you live, it's really
makes a
important.
difference.
I used to live in a studio apartment and it was like way too small, and I think that's also where I got depression. Once I moved to like another apartment with like more natural light, bigger space, felt much better. So don't just like save money from the apartment. No. That's where you live. That's your home. That's where you go back, come back from work to like rest and chill. Like that's very important.
I actually really can attest to that. Some advice my mom gave me when I was living in Finland. Because in Finland, I only had a year contract, and I really wasn't sure if they were going to keep me. And I had such a hard time settling, and I didn't put up any pictures. I wouldn't, like, decorate. It didn't feel like home. I was living in this room, waiting for someone to hand me a 2-year contract, so then I could settle down. And I remember my mom coming to visit, and she was like, you just need to live 100% where you are right now, and you will feel so much better. And I ended up only staying there another, like, 6 months. But I had all my photos up. It became home for that short time.
Yeah.
It made my relationships deeper, I think. And I think it can be scary because the ballet career is so unknown, and often you only have 1-year contracts at a time, and it can be really daunting, and you don't know if you should settle and should I invest in relationships and friendships. But even though maybe it is only a year and it will hurt to say bye to friends or all these things, I would still say go for the friendships, go for the relationships. Set up your apartment the way you would love to have it, because it will make that year so much more rich and so much more special. And then, who knows, maybe you'll get a 2-year or a lifetime or whatever, and then you've already started developing a home, and you're going to be like Antea, where you can actually say, this is my home now, you know? And I think that's so encouraging. Not that, like, you hate Italy or something like this, but that you can say that your life is here, your home is here, and that should be so encouraging for dancers who I feel like can never imagine not considering, their birthplace home, kind of thing. So, yeah, be where you are, 100%.
Also, I have to say that, but I understand that not everyone gets the same opportunity, but when I moved here to Tallinn, my father traveled with me. So I think it's nice if you can to have someone with you to also help you with the...
Never.
I never had that luxury.
I never had that.
Yeah, that's why. But if you can,
My
I
mum
think
put my
I would...
suitcase on the doorstep. Go on.
Also, just to help you with the practical stuff. So, the residence or stuff that by myself I would have been so lost. So, if you can, or maybe a friend or a family member, that would be helpful to
It just eases the burden a little bit.
Yeah.
I have to say though, Estonia was the quickest
Oh yeah, they're
place
super techy.
to ever set up a
Oh,
life.
yeah.
I was ready to go within a month. It was amazing.
Yeah.
The ID card, everything was brilliant here.
Yeah.
I
It's
feel like,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, we take praise for it.
Once you get your ID card, everything else just falls
Bank
into
account,
place.
apartment, it all came
Free
so
transport,
quickly. Free transport.
everything.
Especially compared to US, there was
Oh, yeah.
It took
Oh,
some
that's
time.
polar
It took some
opposites.
time.
yeah. Even entering the country was
Yeah. Yeah, no, Estonia was very good for that.
yes.
This is not sponsored once again.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and journeys, and maybe we'll have you on again at some point.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Our Second Home podcast, a podcast dedicated to opening up theater doors through conversations with artists all around the world. For more information, visit our Instagram page, _Our Second Home with the numerical 2, or visit the blog, www.oursecondhome.org, also with a numerical 2. You can also email us at oursecondhome2@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow, like, share, and comment on all our different platforms. It really means a lot to us. Until next time.